Greetings to all of you. In this video, I want to talk about our upcoming new moon on August 23rd. This is coming after we've been through this powerful time of the Lion's Gate portal. And this new moon will be very powerful in that it's guiding us in to the eclipse time. We will have a total lunar eclipse on September 7th, which will be the full moon coming out of this lunar cycle starting on August 23rd. And then we will have a partial solar eclipse on September 21st. So this new moon is guiding us into this period of eclipses and into the total lunar eclipse on September 7th in particular. So let's look at the chart. As you can see, the new moon on August 23rd will be at 0 degrees of Virgo with the sun and moon both at 0 Virgo 22 minutes. So we've just moved out of the energy of Leo into the energy of Virgo, out of the Lion's Gate portal, now into this energy that is about Virgo, an earth sign. How are we manifesting that energy that's come to us through this time of the Lion's Gate portal? How are we putting that into form, Virgo? And how are we bringing that into manifestation to be of service to others? It's very significant that this new moon will be squaring Uranus, which is at 1 degree of Gemini, and also squaring Sedna. As Uranus continues to be in this powerful conjunction with Sedna, I see this as bringing in truth and clarity, Uranus, and guiding us with the energy of Sedna to remember this time that we're in, as Sedna is the planet whose orbit is approximately half of the time of the precessional cycle. So Sedna, when she comes in close to our inner solar system, is guiding us into this awareness that this is a significant time of change, particularly at the beginning of a new precessional cycle where we are now and at the midpoint. So Uranus is guiding us to see the truth of that, to break free of the beliefs, the ways in which our thinking and ways of perceiving have been out of balance, guiding us into clarity, guiding us back into that awareness of who we are as humanity and how we can come back into right harmony and balance with all that is. And I do see Uranus as guiding us more and more into disclosure as to ways in which individually and collectively we have been out of balance. As I've talked about in an earlier video, these outermost planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are in this powerful configuration, sextiling each other, and Uranus and Pluto in a trine. So they are activating particular points in our individual charts. And at the time of this new moon, they're activating this new moon in a powerful way for all of us. We have the square with Uranus, and then the new moon is actually in a yod with Neptune and Saturn in the early degrees of Aries, and Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius. So this new moon is saying how we are meant to bring our energy into form, into manifestation, needs to come from this integration of our spirituality and these new forms and understandings of who we are, Neptune and Saturn in the early degrees of Aries, and how we're understanding these Aquarian paradigms, these new ways of being and seeing that Pluto's guiding us into as it's in Aquarius. So as we can integrate these spiritual energies within us, then we can bring into form what we're meant to manifest to be of service to others. And let me show you some other aspects as we look at some of the connections with the Kuiper Belt objects and other dwarf planets. What's most significant as we look at some of these other aspects is that this new moon is in a trine, an out of sign trine with Chiron and Arizina. Again, that theme of healing in order to move into new forms, into creativity, Arizina, and also in a trine with this powerful combination in Capricorn, Ixion, Pholos, and Quawar. So I think, again, in an ongoing way, the cosmos is guiding us into this realization that part of this time that we're in, as we've come out of the Kali Yuga, we're moving into these new paradigms of the Aquarian age. We're being called into higher consciousness. We have to heal and clear what's out of balance from the past. And in particular, Ixion, heal and clear these ways in which we've been caught in ego, in disconnection, in these power over paradigms, to heal Pholis, take the lid off of these ancestral patterns and wounds caught up in that trauma, to Quawar, come back into harmony and balance with all that is. The meaning of 0 degrees of Virgo and the Sabian symbols is about what is significant in our lives, what is sacred to us. So, what we're meant to manifest is supposed to come from that discrimination of Virgo, that awareness of what are the priorities for us, what is truly sacred for us. In an ongoing way, I think the cosmos is guiding us to clear the patterns from the past, to remember who we are, that we have lived in the past in harmony, in that awareness that we are interconnected with all that is, that we arise out of the sea of cosmic consciousness into this unique expression of our own creativity, of our own incarnation, our own embodiment, to be experiencing what we experience here, to be finding our own unique creative gifts and expression, but to remember that we are ultimately part of the oneness of all that is. But most significant about this new moon is where it is in the sky on October 23rd. As you can see, the sun and moon, the new moon, will be conjunct Regulus, the royal star of the north, the heart of Leo, the lion. So this is highly significant that this new moon is conjunct Regulus, the heart of Leo, the lion. Remember, we have 4 royal stars in the sky coming out of the time of ancient Persia around 3000 BCE. But I actually think these royal stars, these significant stars, these guardians of the 4 directions, the way in which they formed this medicine wheel in the sky, are most likely far more ancient than that. But we have Regulus, the heart of Leo the lion, opposite Fomalhaut, which is the star in the mouth of the fish, beneath the stars of Aquarius, the water bearer pouring the urn of living waters to the earth. And then the east-west axis, we have Aldebaran, the eye of the bull of Taurus, opposite Antares, the heart of the scorpion. Let's explore a little bit the meaning of these royal stars, why they are so significant and powerful for us. And as you may know, I incorporate those in my medicine wheel meditation to help us connect with their energies and how they can guide us in our lives. Regulus, the heart of Leo the lion, is about the importance of living from our hearts with courage. Regulus guides us to be centered in our hearts. Remember, it is through our hearts that we connect to that consciousness of our interconnectedness with all that is. It is through our hearts that we move into higher consciousness, that remembrance of who we truly are, that we are soul selves, part of the oneness of all that is. And then we're supported in having that courage to be in our unique expression in this lifetime as we honor what is meant to emerge from the light and love within us, that light of cosmic consciousness coming through us in our unique creative gifts. It's opposite the stars of Aquarius and that royal star of the south, Fomalhaut, which being the star, the mouth of the fish, below the water bearer, pouring those living waters to the earth, is a reminder to us of the importance of our receiving, our drinking deeply of these waters of cosmic consciousness being poured to us. We are a part of this oneness of the consciousness of the cosmos. I've been moved by Ian McGilchrist's books, these two amazing volumes entitled The Matter with Things. In his books, Ian McGilchrist is talking about how we've gotten caught in these last few thousand years in left brain thinking that keeps us caught in disconnection, in analyzing things, breaking things down into their parts as we try to analyze the world around us from a place of separation. And he describes the importance of our reclaiming our right brain ways of knowing, which are more holistic, more relational, more able to see the bigger picture and realize everything is a part of the wholeness of all that is. It brings us back into connection. And ultimately, we're meant to drop into an even deeper understanding from our hearts that allows us not only to feel that wholeness and that interconnectedness of all that is, but allows us that higher consciousness that enables us to see that beneath all that is this sea of cosmic consciousness, that everything rises out of consciousness. We've gotten caught in this materialistic view of our universe and of who we are, thinking that consciousness somehow has evolved out of our random evolution of development on the planet. But instead, the reality is everything evolves out of is a manifestation of consciousness. We are each a fractal expression of cosmic consciousness. And that star Fomalhaut guides us to remember that we are meant to receive, to drink deeply of those waters of consciousness, of that awareness that we are a part of the oneness of all that is. That when we receive that, we drink deeply of that, then we can be in our own unique expression of that consciousness to align with Regulus, the heart of Leo. How is that light meant to shine through my heart, my consciousness into manifestation in the world? Then when we look at the other east-west axis, we have Aldebaran, the eye of the bull of Taurus. Taurus is that energy about being in embodiment, sacred embodiment, the experience in this dimensional reality of being in form, of being able to experience the beauty of creativity through our senses, through this direct physical experience, to be able to perceive and see the diversity of creativity around us. And Aldebaran, the eye of the bull, is that royal star guiding us to live with integrity, to honor the sacredness of embodiment, to remember that this is a gift to be in form, in embodiment, and is an expression of the sacredness of all of life. And that star is opposite in the sky Antares, the heart of the scorpion. Antares is that star that's often seen as the portal star, that portal between life and death. Scorpius, that constellation and the sign of Scorpio, are about that journey that we go through in our transformational process of entering into this life, being in this experience, having the intensity of all that we feel and experience in this realm, then to transition at the time of death back in to the sea of cosmic consciousness, only to be reincarnating and re-experiencing this reality again. So Antares, the heart of the scorpion, is guiding us to remember that we are soul selves having this human experience, that we are a part of infinity. And when we remember that, we no longer fear death. We can be in this incarnational experience and have all the emotions, all of the experiences that we have as part of our growing in wisdom, our journey of alchemical transformation to deepen in love and wisdom in this lifetime. So you can see these stars and how they interact with each other and balance each other. That Regulus is about courage and true manifestation of our creativity coming from our receiving, aligning with the wisdom of cosmic consciousness coming to us that can then manifest through us. And the east-west axis is how do we then live in integrity and that embodiment of the sacredness of this experience with that awareness that we are part of infinity. We are not defined by our mortality, but we go through these transitional and transformational experiences to deepen, to heal, to grow for our own soul's evolutionary journey. These four stars and their signs, the fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, are the ages in the precessional cycle that align with significant shifts in the Yuga cycle. Leo is at the outset of the Treta cycle. This, for the Greeks, was known as the Silver Age. Taurus, the beginning of the Kali Yuga, that time of our movement into lower levels of consciousness, what the Greeks called the Iron Age. Aquarius is the start of the Dwapara phase of the Yuga cycle. This is known by the Greeks as the Bronze Age or phase of this great year. And Scorpio actually is the start of the Golden Age, the Satya Yuga. So these signs and these royal stars are reminding us of this journey of evolution of consciousness that we go through collectively and how we can work that and hold that awareness of this journey that we're in so that we don't get caught in forgetting, in separation, in our disconnection from that awareness of the oneness of all that is, from our source, cosmic consciousness. So, as these different ages correlate with the precessional cycle and our movement through the yuga cycle, this time of ascending consciousness and descending consciousness, I truly believe that as we connect to these royal stars and their meaning, as we work with the energies of the earth and sky, we are being guided now in this time into an evolutionary leap in consciousness in order to not keep going through this cycle of remembering and forgetting, of connection and disconnection, of being in harmony and balance with all that is, to getting into disconnection, discord, destruction. I truly believe we are at a moment in time where we can move into higher consciousness, see these lessons of this journey of consciousness, integrate it to come into wholeness, to truly, as the Peruvian shamans would say, become homo luminous ones, beings of light, holding that higher consciousness in our experience in order to be co-creating this new earth together. So this new moon calling our attention to the energy of Regulus, to living from our hearts with courage, is calling us into that intelligence of our hearts, to come back into connection with cosmic consciousness, to then be living out our creative expression of who we are and what we're meant to be in this time, to be manifesting what's healing and supportive and in service to the collective, that energy of Virgo. So at the time of this new moon, take time to meditate, to do a fire ceremony, to honor this royal star of the north, Regulus, to honor all of the royal stars, to ask what you need to clear and release in your life, to come to center, to be living from your heart with courage, to be bringing out the light and creativity that only you can bring into the world in this time. And may we as a community be connecting heart to heart with each other to support each other in doing that. Blessings and love to all of you. Blessed be.